What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Not Game Channel. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? This is the second day of the weekly show, episode 195. We're going to be talking about just some general stuff that kind of came out this week. I think I only have like 3 topics lined up for you guys in this show. The previous video was either super early this morning or yesterday. I don't know. We talked about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That was all what that was being focused on. Today, like I said, it's going to be just kind of a random 3 topics that just kind of caught my eye. As always, links and everything is down in the description, so go check that out. Really, I don't have a whole lot to say. I've been trying to... I keep getting into this first article, and it turns into a rambling mess. I've tried it about for like the last half hour out to an hour, and it's really starting to piss me off. So frankly, I'm not going to read this article. You can go read it down in the description. Like I said, the link in the description. Basically, what it's saying, Geoff Keighley... in kind of in place of E3 2020 and everything from about May to August of this year, they're kind of partnering. He's kind of partnering with a lot of different studios and publishers and whatnot to try and show a bunch of different games and everything. Now, this kind of aligns with a lot of rumors we've been seeing. I mean, just here's some of the some of what's going to be in Phase 1: PlayStation, Activision, Bandai, Square, Bethesda, 2K, CD Projekt, a bunch of other stuff. I mean, just looking at all the stuff that's going to be there, I mean, just kind of running through my head. I mean, we know that Sony was planning... We've been hearing rumors, seeing articles that Sony's planning something. A lot of people are thinking it's the new console reveal, or they're finally going to really reveal the console. We know that Ghost of Tsushima was going to be showing something, I think, in like late June, ahead of its July release date. I think if they show something early enough June, maybe they'd include some Last of Us Part 2, but with the leaks and everything that kind of happened, plus the game's already gone gold, I think they might just let that one sit until launch in, mid-June? It's like the 14th, is it not? I could be incorrect on that. So, you know, we're probably going to be seeing a spattering of just some small, maybe some new IPs from Sony, but probably just some other stuff that they're working on. This is all part of showing off the next gen. But I think the biggest thing for them is to show off their next gen console. As far as Xbox goes, I'm sure we're going to be seeing Halo, probably the Hellblade sequel. We know, or at least I believe... I believe, because they're doing something on the 7th. That's when we'd probably see Halo, the Hellblade sequel. I know that Ubisoft and maybe a few other third-party games that are going to be at launch on both platforms are going to be showing some stuff off during an Xbox presentation, and the only one I know of for Xbox is on the 7th. So I believe they're going to be showing Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion, which are both supposed to be around launch on both next-gen platforms. I think Xbox is also going to be doing something, from what I've seen, or from what I've read, that they're going to be doing kind of like a demo festival, you know, with some free demos and vertical slices of a few different games to go check out. I'm going to guess it's being run through the Microsoft Store, but I'm not entirely sure. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually get to see Gears Tactics run on the Xbox One. Wouldn't that be wonderful? If you can't tell, I'm still a little salty that didn't come out on Xbox One along with PC. I'm still really pissed that a game so connected with Xbox, I cannot play it until I get a better PC. I'm sorry, I'm still mad about that. I will not release my butthurt. Sorry. As far as Square, I don't know 100% what they'd show. Because I'm trying to think of a lot of stuff that Square Enix is working on. Isn't Square right now working on that Avengers game? What was that? What was that one game that one chick, she came out, she left that, God damn it, what was her position? I can't remember her name either. She went out, she was acting all kind of goofy and doing poses and everything. Everybody fell in love with her. Was that like 2 E3s ago, or was that the last E3? I can't freaking remember. It was like Ghost Riot Tokyo or something like that. It had one of those kind of... It had Ghost in Tokyo in the name with another word in the middle. I cannot remember that game. It looked interesting. So maybe Square will show that off. Maybe they'll talk plans for the next Final Fantasy, which, by the way, more of that later on in the show. Riot Games. I don't know. I mean, isn't Riot planning on doing a lot of stuff with League? I believe they are. Because, I mean, I keep seeing I keep getting ads on YouTube for, like, Legends of Runeterra or something like that Hearthstone ripoff with Blizzard. It's going to be a lot of With Blizzard, it's probably going to be, again, more Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. CD Projekt, obviously, it's going to be Cyberpunk. Maybe some Gwent, but I hope not. I hope it's just Cyberpunk. I mean, with EA, who the hell knows? I mean, we know there's going to be a new Battlefield. I'd like to see some of the new stuff coming out of BioWare, preferably the new Dragon Age, which we know is being worked on, but we can't tell if EA has completely fucked that project up yet, just because we've been hearing those rumors that it's going to be like that pseudo MMO shit. Like, dear God, don't let them do to Dragon Age what they did to the idea that was Anthem. I mean, I stand by. I really think BioWare wanted to make Anthem not this online that online open world, not open world, that shared world sort of thing. I don't know why I have that feeling. Maybe they really did, but it's just that whole plan screamed EA, not BioWare to me. Bandai Namco, that one's kind of a toss-up. They could be doing a lot of stuff there. Bethesda, we'd probably be seeing the new, I almost said Skyrim, the new Elder Scrolls that's supposedly coming to next gen. We also know that they're working on another game that's not either. It was shown again. I want to say 2 E3s ago, or was it last E3? I don't know. The last 2 E3s kind of run together. They were both kind of underwhelming, but I want to say something with space. I can't remember. It was shown right before the new Elder Scrolls announcement. So, I mean, we could be seeing that, new Elder Scrolls, maybe some Fallout 76 stuff, but I just said let it die. Bungie, the only thing I can think of is Destiny stuff. And, Activision and 2K, there could be a ton of stuff that's shown. So, a lot of these developers, a lot of these publishers, I think we're in for a lot of really cool, we're in for a lot of cool reveals and stuff like that. I can't remember in that weird rant of just what I was kind of like quick cut of everything that I think the different developers are going to be showing. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but Xbox is planning something this week. I think they're showing stuff off on the 7th. So we'll sit and watch. Either I'll watch it live or I'll watch the playback or something. We'll do something either on the 7th or it might be up on the 8th. I don't know when I'm going to get to it or whatever. I mean, like, I've been doing this weird thing where I'm like staying up all night and then sleeping till 1 in the afternoon. So it's a whole fucking thing. I don't know why you're interested in that. While I'm talking about it, I'm just all caffeinated right now. So I'm just kind of running my mouth. Either way, so Xbox is doing something on the 7th. Everything else, just kind of keep your eye out. I'll probably either make mentions of it on Twitter or obviously we'll talk about it when the game or when articles and whatnot come out. But there's one other developer, or I guess publisher, that we know is doing something, and when. As I said, we know that one other publisher has announced their event that EA Play 2020 is going to be going on digitally with announcements and reveals in June. Article Liam Croft, Push Square. E3 2020 might not be happening anymore, but that hasn't stopped every publisher under the sun from announcing its own digital event to replace the show floor. Electronic Arts is the next company to reveal that it'll be putting on a show in accordance with Jeff Keighley's. I keep trying to say Geoff Keighley. I know it's Jeff. I know he pronounces it Jeff, but it looks like Joff to me. I will always do that. With his Summer Games Fest, using the usual name of EA Play. Announced on Twitter, the publisher claims that it will have, quote, world premieres, news, and more. We'd expect a significant amount of those announcements to be sports titles for the PS5 and Xbox One. Obviously, this is Push Square, so they're only going to mention PS5. But then you have to wonder what else the California-based company has in store for the upcoming generation. A new Dragon Age game has already been announced, so we're surely due a trailer for that, and a complete overhaul of Anthem is also in the works. Am I the only one who is not interested in an overhaul for Anthem? I think just let it die. Just let it die, like Fallout 76. Let it die. I've already made my thoughts on the new Dragon Age clear. Look, I hope it's good. I love Dragon Age. I love Dragon Age 2. Maybe not as much as Origins was, as it wasn't as good as Origins, or in my opinion, as good as Inquisition. I know Inquisition is kind of I don't want to say controversial, but it's kind of it has mixed emotions from a lot of people, or for a lot of the community. But I like Inquisition. Like I said, I liked 2. I didn't think it was awful. Was it the best thing ever? No. but I didn't think it was awful. I like 2. I'm standing by it. I like 2. Either way. And obviously Jason Schreier lifted the lid on a new Mass Effect title in early development at BioWare, which combined with our continued hopes and dreams of a remaster for the original trilogy means we'll always be watching when EA takes the digital stage. Will it manage to please the crowd watching from home? Well, we'll wait and see. EA Play 2020 will take place Thursday, the 11th of June at 4 p.m. Yeah, again, I think they hit the big things that I think are going to be shown. Obviously, they're going. I didn't think that they'd show Anthem, but I keep forgetting they're working on an overhaul for it, just because like I said, I really don't care about Anthem anymore. Obviously, Dragon Age, yeah, they're working on a new Mass Effect game. Will they show? I think if they show something Mass Effect related, it'd be a remaster. I mean, look, I get it. EA is. When you think soulless, heartless video game developing, publishing companies, you think EA. But dear God, with the number of people who've been calling for it, you've got to remaster that trilogy. So I'd expect, if anything, a Mass Effect trilogy remaster announcement. I don't think they'd be ready to show the new Mass Effect just yet. They'd probably wait for N7 Day to do that. That'd be my guess. Still, talking about though that new Mass Effect game, it does make me sad that apparently they're not going to be returning to Andromeda. I mean, there's a few different places, a few different things that they're talking about. I still like my idea of setting it during the contact wars between the humans and the Turians. I mean, some people have brought up to me that maybe that wouldn't necessarily work, or how would you do RPG stuff with it? I mean, I don't know. You could work for like some sort of intelligence agency. Doing like little covert ops or whatever. I think you'd do stuff in the Contact Wars, and have it be pretty cool, and still have it be that typical RPG stuff that we love. I don't know. I just whatever you do, don't do what Anthem, or not Anthem. Well, yeah, don't do what Anthem did. Don't do what Andromeda did. Again, I don't know, man. Andromeda was such a mixed bag to me, because I saw some. I stand by it. I saw. It also depends on the mood I'm in, is kind of how nice I'll be to Andromeda. But I saw some promise in there. I liked what they were trying to do with some of the RPG mechanics, but everything just felt so unstructured, I guess is how I'd put it. I like class systems. I like each character having their own role, having a class and everything. And specifically, I like my own main character having that, so I kind of plan my team around that. I didn't get that in Andromeda. It was always, you can swap your class and your skills and mix and match and do all this. The shooting felt really bad. It felt it was so floaty. It didn't work. Honestly, if you want me to tell you what I think the best shooter was out of the Mass Effect franchise, I'd say it's 2. Honestly, I think the best all-around Mass Effect game was probably 2. I'll agree with a lot of people on that one. I think Mass Effect 2 was probably the best all-around Mass Effect game. Or is that? Or have people said 3? I'm pretty sure it's widely considered 2. It's widely considered that 2 is the best Mass Effect game. But either way, I'm sorry. I didn't want to talk all about Mass Effect in this show. But what the hell can I say? I love Mass Effect. And I kind of got off on that topic, knowing that another one's in production. But yeah, I think if EA shows anything Mass Effect related, it would probably be a remastered trilogy and not the new Mass Effect game. I think, like I said, they'd wait for N7 Day or something for that. But either way, let's move on. All right, these next 2 articles should both be pretty short. And about this first one, don't worry, I have scanned it. There are no. It doesn't specifically mention what the leaks or whatever that were going on with The Last of Us 2. They do not mention that. I scanned through them. We're good. And by the way, if you post in the comment section what the leaks were, if you post links to the leaks, you do any of that shit, you're getting blocked and comments removed and all that shit, because I don't that and spoilers, like, just that's malicious, and that's just being an asshole. That's not cool. I mean, hell, I have tried very hard or to resist any sort of like temptation or anything that I would have to see what the leaks are, because I mean, I do have that bit of, man, I want to see what the game's about, but I'm like, no, I want it fresh. On the 19th of June, I was 5 days off. I'm really excited, and I don't want anything spoiled or ruined or whatever, and just don't do that to other people. That's not cool. But either way, we have a little bit more of an idea of where the leaks came from. So apparently the Last of Us 2 leaks were released by hackers and nobody actually affiliated with Naughty Dog. So I guess that kind of makes it a little better, at least for Naughty Dog, knowing nobody who just maliciously fucked them in a way. Article, Stephen Tailby, this is Push Square. Original story follows. The story surrounding The Last of Us Part 2 has been out of control the last week or so. It has been heavily purported that the person responsible for leaking huge story spoilers for the upcoming PlayStation 4 exclusive was a disgruntled employee of developer Naughty Dog. As it turns out, this is entirely false. Sony has finally broken silence on this sticky situation. In a statement to GameIndustry.biz, the Sony spokesperson told the publication that, quote, it has identified the primary individuals responsible for the leaks earlier this week, end quote. The company has confirmed the leakers, quote, were not affiliated with Sony Interactive Entertainment or Naughty Dog, end quote, putting an end to that particular chapter. The platform holder declined to comment further on the matter, apart to say the information was currently subject to an ongoing investigation. So there you go. All the scuttlebutt about an angry employee turned out to be nonsense. The good news is that Sony seems to be onto whomever is responsible. Hopefully this whole thing will be wrapped up soon. In other words, an unrelated viral tweet claimed that Naughty Dog senior game designer left the studio to work at Microsoft newly minted subsidiary Double Fine. However, it appears that purported employee Edgar Newman doesn't actually exist, and his LinkedIn profile is a fake, which has since been removed. This was evidenced by various inconsistencies, like the fact that he was listed as the lead game designer on Tom Clancy's The Division, despite another person filling that role. I'll just read the quick update here. According to the trusted journalist Jason Schreier, leaked footage of The Last of Us Part 2 was apparently obtained by hackers who used a security vulnerability in a patch for an old Naughty Dog game to access the Californian developer servers. It's apparently older videos of a development build. Schreier continues, and I quote, rumors of this being an act of protest by a contractor whose pay was robbed are not true. Naughty Dog actually extended pay and healthcare benefits for contractors due to COVID-19, end quote. No, that's good that nobody tried to kind of screw them over. And honestly, the fact that it was part of an early build and everything maybe makes me think that maybe some of what we're seeing... Look, by the way that Naughty Dog responded to it, I'm not going to say everything is completely false, but maybe not everything is 100% accurate. Maybe some stuff's out of context. Maybe that there's some things, this, that, the other thing. Yeah, I'm just... I don't know, man. I'm glad that we know who did this, and I'm glad we know it wasn't a Naughty Dog employee or anything. That just kind of makes it a little scummier. Though I will say, I'm not a big fan of the way that Naughty Dog has kind of handled this, or maybe it's been Sony. I'm not sure. All I know is I've seen people talking about how some videos that were reporting on the leaks and everything were getting taken down or getting copyright claimed or whatever. I'm not a massive fan of that, particularly because, I mean, frankly, the leaks happened, people are reporting on it or people are reacting to them or whatever. I think people have the right to do that, to this leaked information and everything. I think filing copyright takedowns and everything is just, these people are just trying to do, make a living doing their thing. They're saying that they're reacting to these leaks and what the leaks are, as long as people are saying, kind of warning people like, look, these are spoilers that we're going to be getting into what the leaks actually say. Yeah, I think that that's fine and they shouldn't be taken down. I don't think they're bad people. I'm saying the people who actually leaked it and who are going into people's like comment sections and whatnot and dropping the leaks on people unsuspectingly, that's a bad form, dude. That's really bad form. But either way, I'm glad we know who's going on. And like I said, it just the fact that this was part of an early build of the game makes me think that maybe not everything is going to be true. If anybody was freaking out, maybe I don't know. Maybe we can go in with a little hope that maybe some stuff's changed. Maybe some stuff is put in some different context. I don't know. But like I said, it's all in all, I'll say it one more time. It's good that we know who did this and that it wasn't anybody actually affiliated with Naughty Dog. All right, guys, we got one more article for you here on Push Square. Article Liam Croft. Final Fantasy VII Remake producer still doesn't know how many parts there'll be. He said this is Liam Croft, Push Square. I mean, look, I was under the impression that we'd have 2 remakes for Final Fantasy VII. We'd have the Midgard portion and everything else in the next one. Apparently not. Let's see here. Much was made of how Final Fantasy VII Remake will be split into installments when the news broke years ago, but the backlash everyone was expecting from the wider game community hasn't come to fruition. We haven't come across any big complaints that the first part finishes after the party leaves Midgard, but at least director Tetsuya Nomura wants to get part 2 out as soon as possible. There's still no word on how many pieces there will be in total, however. I saw an article on Destructoid that said that part 2 is in planning right now, which, please, dear God, don't take... how long did we know about this remake? I mean, we heard rumors or whatever, but from actual announcement to release, how long did we know about that? Because, that thing got pushed back and messed with so many times. Honestly, I love what we got, but I still hope we don't have to wait that long. I'm also hoping that all of these... I'm trying to think how to put it. All these pieces still feel like independent games. Like this is my biggest problem with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, is that the game feels like one big opening segment. Again, this Destructoid article was talking about people wondering if there was going to be like a world map, if it was going to be like one big open world game. Although I think they bring up some sort of idea where it's going to be like smaller sandboxes that are connecting to larger hubs. If anybody remembers, that's how Final Fantasy XII worked, which honestly, I'm fine with that. I mean, that's kind of how the Final Fantasy VII Remake works. Like, there are like smaller little like areas that enemies are, and then there's like the smaller hub worlds, like the Sector 7 slums, Sector 5, Wall Market, stuff like that. And I think that works. But again, my big issue with Final Fantasy VII, I've said this before, I feel like I'm stuck in a continuous tutorial. Like, the game is not just letting me play. It's just constantly dragging me back and dragging me back. It's kind of like what Persona does, but Persona does it with narrative. It does it with story, not necessarily tutorial. I mean, granted, the Persona does take a long time to get through all of its tutorial and teaching you stuff at the very beginning of the game. Well, that's just Persona. It's a slow game in general. But at least at some point, it kind of lets you go until it pulls you back again with more narrative. But the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I've been saying this all the way through the game, it keeps dragging you back. It keeps pulling you back. It's like I said, it feels like one extended tutorial. I'm really hoping the future games aren't like... It's not like we have the one that's like an extended beginning, one that's like an extended beginning of the middle, an extending end of the middle, and an extended ending. Like, make them each feel like different installments, like actual start, middle, finish game. Instead of something that just... It feels like it's a piece of a larger whole. Like, I don't even want to say you can't make them feel like pieces of a whole, but you have to make them stand on their own individually. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's the thing that kind of that's my biggest gripe with the remake. And it does make me kind of afraid of what they're going to do with the future one. And especially with this, with not knowing when the hell the next one's coming out, you'd think they'd be a little further along than just planning at this stage. But that's just me. As part of the Japanese Final Fantasy VII Remake Ultimania book, which has been kindly translated by Twitter user, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, and reported on by Video Games Chronicles, Nomura said the next part could be smaller than the Midgar section to aid development times. Quote, if we divide the story into large parts, it'll take longer to make. If we divide it into more detailed, smaller sections, then developing it will be faster. I hope to release the next one ASAP, end quote. See, that's not a good strategy. What? Oh, we're going to make tons of small Final Fantasy games. Like, that's, small and Final Fantasy, I just don't think goes together. Is this going to be just like, we're going to get so bogged down and fatigued with them, it's going to be like Final Fantasy 13, but actually somewhat good? And to anybody out there who loves Final Fantasy 13, no, I won't apologize for that remark. Final Fantasy 13 sucked. There you go. I said it. I tried playing it. I tried getting into it. I couldn't do it. No, hard pass. But no, I dividing into large. I think it would be smarter to take 2 or 3 years in between each game, than release them fast. When I'm saying don't take too long between them, I'm not saying 2 to 3 years. I'm saying 5 to 6 years. Don't do that in between each game. But 2 to 3, I think, is a fine development window. I'll give you time because I want them done right. But if you're going to release these small 10-hour games instead of larger 20, 30-hour games, no, release 20, 30-hour games and take your time. But again, don't take 5 to 6 years, because then it's just freaking ridiculous. There's a sweet spot, is what I'm saying. Producer Yoshinori Kitase then confirms that Square Enix still doesn't know how many parts the entire story will be split into. Jesus Christ. Quote, we have a general idea of how the story will play out, but we haven't decided exactly how many parts, nor can we confirm anything. There's speculation that it will be 3 parts, but we're just doing things one step at a time. Quote, God damn it. I mean, this is funny, but also really sad. I'm like, shouldn't you plan this shit out a little better? You'd think. I don't know. We can't wait to see what the publisher has in store for both veteran players and newcomers when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake 2. It is sure to be another wild ride. Presumably, we'll also be playing it on PS5. When do you think the next installment will release? Honestly, I don't even know when the hell they'd release it. I'd say they should be shooting for 2022, 2023. But, oh my God, I don't know, man. This bit of news does not fill me with. I just feel like my problems with Final Fantasy VII are going to be amplified in the coming games, because I feel like they're either going to take too long to release the parts that they're going to be completely forgotten, or they're going to be released so fast that they're crap. I don't feel like they're going to hit that sweet spot of time to really work the games and make sure that they're quality. Oh my God, and also just mixed with that, it just sounds like they have no plan. It sounds all over the place. Like, we're just gonna do whatever the hell we want, and good luck, everyone. Oh my God. All right, guys, that's really all I got for you guys in this show. Sorry if it seemed a little informal, but it's late. I tried doing, or if I seemed like I was talking really fast, or just what I tried doing this show like 3 or 4 times. I got into the first article and I wasn't happy with the way it was going. So hopefully this was a little better. You could understand me. My frustration didn't come across too heavily. Either way, thanks for watching. Social media's in the description, along with all the links and timestamps. Like, comment, you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. I think I said this at the beginning of the episode, but until I get back to work and get my schedule and everything back up, and I can find a day of the week that the show fits into my work schedule and everything, we're just going to do this on Mondays. That's my new plan going forward. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, my name's AJ Gels. This is Something Game Channel. I'm out.